Alexander Hamilton stood against three important and influential leaders as he tried to impact the founding of what became a good country. He stood against anyone who got in his way of getting to the top. The first person he fought was Thomas Jefferson. It all started when Jefferson was appointed as Secretary of State and Hamilton was appointed as Secretary of Treasury. The two worked together and were small acquaintances, but had never argued until Hamilton came up with his financial program. The country was drowning in debt, and Washington decided Hamilton should come up with a plan. His plan consisted of three parts: making sure the U.S. government would pay all federal and state debts, making sure the U.S. government would charter a national bank, and that the government would impose a high tax on goods imported to the country. The national bank ensured that the government could deposit government funds and that they could make debt payments. Jefferson didn't like anything about Hamilton's plan. He believed that a national bank was unconstitutional and that there was no sign of a provision of a national bank in the Constitution. Jefferson and Hamilton started a debate. Jefferson was strict about the Constitution while Hamilton was loose, so Hamilton led the loose side and Jefferson led the strict side. Hamilton used Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, also known as the Necessary and Proper Clause, as a reference. It stated that the government can still make decisions regardless if the Constitution has it. The two fought on until in 1791 Congress passed a bill creating a national bank that would remain for 20 years. Jefferson and Hamilton did simmer down, but the two still dreaded each other for the rest of their lives. But in the election of 1800, Hamilton was one of the tie-breaking votes. Even though he has worked with Burr for years and he hated Jefferson, surprisingly Hamilton chose Jefferson over Burr. There was no real reason why he did this, but he claimed that Jefferson had beliefs and ideas while Burr had none. This caused conflict between Hamilton and Burr, and which would lead to the Hamilton and Burr duel.
The second man Alexander Hamilton fought was John Adams. Even though Adams and Hamilton were on the same political party, the Federalists, they hated each other so much that after Hamilton's death, Adams continued to blackmail and embarrass Hamilton. It all started when Washington had received Adams and his vice president. Adams saw Hamilton as crazy and insane. Hamilton saw Adams as too focused. Even though Hamilton hated Adams and did not want him to win presidency, neither did he want Jefferson to win. Hamilton didn't want Charles Cotesworth Pinckney to win, so Hamilton encouraged all Federalists to vote for Pinckney. In order to do that, he wrote a 50-page manifesto titled Concerning the Public Conduct and Character of John Adams. But once the voting narrowed down to two, Hamilton had to choose between John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. The two fought for many years to come until Hamilton's death in 1804. Hamilton's focus in life was to leave a great legacy. After he died, Adams did everything he could to destroy that legacy. He wrote correspondence about Hamilton destroying his career when he cheated on his wife and made rude comments about Hamilton. All these are rumors Adams may have made up. It is documented that Hamilton had sexual affairs with another woman, but there's no proof Hamilton wrote those remarks.
The last man Hamilton fought was Aaron Burr. Hamilton and Burr were both soldiers in the Continental Army. Just like with Jefferson, they did not know each other well until Hamilton was appointed to a higher status than Burr. He was appointed aide-de-camp, Washington's right-hand man. But everything was fine until Hamilton was at a dinner party in 1803 and he made some rude comments about Burr. He said Burr was a dangerous man who ought not to be trusted with the reins of government. Dr. Charles D. Cooper, a physician, had taken note of everything Hamilton said. Charles sent the remarks to Philip Schuyler, Hamilton's father-in-law. Later, the insults were published in the Albany Register, and when Burr saw them, he wrote to Hamilton immediately. In the first letter, which was from Aaron Burr to Alexander Hamilton, Burr asked if it was really him and what did he mean by still more despicable. Hamilton wrote back saying he would not tell Burr whether he said those things or not, and he said that things they say are true about Burr, just that he did not say them. In these next few letters, the two arranged a duel. They agreed to meet in Weehawken, New Jersey on July 11, 1804. They used Wagh-Dawn pistols and were in a spot known as the Heights of Weehawken. There had been 18 duels on that spot. Each participant got 2 shots from their weapon. Hamilton shot first, straight into the air above him. Nobody knows if the shot was intentional, but Burr described it as Hamilton throwing away his shot. Hamilton did not get a second bullet because Burr shot Hamilton into the lower abdomen above his hip. Hamilton collapsed immediately and was rushed to a hospital. He died the next day. Hamilton had many great accomplishments, and he deserves to show the modern world what he's done for us. In conclusion, Hamilton had to do many things to create his legacy. He fought against some of the greatest founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, and Aaron Burr. Alexander Hamilton has left a great legacy.